Hello, hello, Sabah. I don't know. You ever say hello, Sabah, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the Android Bay. Today is episode 128. We're back. We're in the studio. It's Saturday. It's the first Sunday. Well, it's first Saturday in August. And already we have a lot of things going on. Like the first week of August was already a packed week. As you can imagine, OnePlus finally announced and unveiled the brand new OnePlus 10T 5G. Now, if you're watching this, obviously, or if you're listening to the audio podcast, I'm showing the phone to the viewers on the camera, showing you guys the brand new device, as well as the fact that it has a really nice kick-ass case that I really enjoy seeing there. I had the opportunity to cover the launch event. Of course, I had the opportunity to use the device before the launch event, so I'm able to share some content there. But it's been an interesting week where commentaries on the phone have been a little bit kind of mixed, where you're seeing some people that are super excited for what the OnePlus 10T has to offer, and some people that are not necessarily happy with the direction that we're seeing. And today I want to maybe shed some light on some of those conversations and maybe answer some of those questions. So if you have any, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I see Ron Guido's in there. Good morning, Sabah. Hope you're doing well. Javier Hidalgo, Greg, good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. And I hope you're staying cool, as although summer may be ending for most of us here in the US and schools are going to start opening next week, the heat hasn't actually gotten that memo. And apparently, we're still in summer. So today here for Southern California, or at least where I am in Southern California in the Los Angeles area, we are going to be a beautiful 105, almost 40 degrees Celsius cooking. So yeah, for that's how it's going to be today. So we're going to try to stay indoors as much as possible. Marilyn Sabah, hope you're doing well. Tim R, video quality very blurry. TK, let me double check. I'm not sure if it's the stream, but on my side at least it looks okay. Let me double check here. It says 1080. Do me a favor, Tim, if you don't mind. Is there a setting in the gear? YouTube has been doing this lately for most of my videos, where anytime I start watching a video, it puts me on like at 400 or 480p or 360p, and I manually have to push it to 1080. The stream should be at 1080. Let me know if that fixes the problem. And if not, I can try to maybe just turn off maybe remove myself from the stream and adding myself back, and we'll see how it goes. TK's headroom. Yeah, no, for sure. Dominic, man, hope you're doing well. Already set the 1080p, but it does not work. Okay, that is weird. Okay, let me see how it looks like on my side, just to double check and make sure how it looks. Because on my side, I'm able to jump in with my channel and I can see what it looks like. And we may have to start the stream or restart the stream. Let's see how that goes. Yeah. Hold on. It says 480p. I'm going to change quality to 1080. Does not fix it. Okay, so we can try two things. Okay, it is very blurry. On my side, at least from the stream side, it looks like it's fine. But let me do something real quick here. There could be here. I'm gonna turn off that part and go back. Let's see if that fixes the problem. So one thing I will say, the connection to StreamYard seems to be a little bit low. So I could basically jump off and jump back on, and we can try that. If you guys want to give me a few seconds, I will do that, and hopefully that fixes the problem. And if not, we we may have to jump on mobile and go outdoors. So let's do that. Give me a few minutes. I'm gonna get out of the stream and I'm gonna come back. So don't go anywhere, please. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Okay. I exited the stream and I came back into the stream. I'm not sure. And if this is the situation, this may be a StreamYard thing. So let's see. Hold on. Let me jump back into this, see how it comes back. Okay. Let's see how it looks like now. Nope. Same thing. Okay. StreamYard for the fail today, apparently. That is a weird situation. I am not sure why. I thought it was my Wi-Fi, and it's not. Yep, it's the same thing, still the same. Okay. I I can try a restart and see if that works, but it could also be connection is unstable. If you're on Wi-Fi, I'm not on Wi-Fi. Okay, let's try this one right now. Okay, I'm going to try one last attempt. This will take me a little bit longer. I'm going to actually go ahead. Yeah, I know it looks really bad. I looked at it on my phone. It's pretty bad on this. And if I wish if there was a way to fix it, I would fix it. But there's no way to change it because on my side, when I'm looking at the feed in StreamYard, it looks good. It tells me my internet connection is slow, although I'm not on the internet connection. I'm on wired connection directly into my router. I'm not using Wi-Fi. So let's do this. Actually, let's do this here. I'm gonna jump on StreamYard on my phone, just because I know I can do it, and I've done it in the past. But what I want to do is I'm doing this so that I can actually restart my PC and still actually talk to you guys. So let's do this real quick. So I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to go StreamYard. And we're just going to keep it going. Okay, I don't know why it did not have me logged in. So log in. Okay, let's see here. Can we do it on this guy? Technical problems. So this was partially why I was late this morning, guys. Let's see if we can fix it. Because if we can't fix it, this is going to be really kind of a weird thing, and I don't want to not having going. So here, StreamYard. Again, it does not have me logged in, which is weird because it should have me logged in and it did not. So we're going to try real quick. I'm going to restart the computer, but I want to connect to you guys before here on StreamYard. So here. So 5.3. Okay. 5.3. Okay. Because if I can just connect with you guys here and keep it going. So here, studio. Because if it works from another system, then we'll just do it from there. So we're going to go setting, front camera. I don't know why it's not working. Front facing. Okay, this is just weird stuff. Okay, this is seriously like the worst situation of getting technical problems at the same time. So let's try this one more time and see how that works. I'm trying to get it to... Okay, continue. While. Okay, so we got mic and camera access. We're back. We're going to go in here. And of course, we're going to... Oh, okay, I see how it is. So I'm going to remove myself out of that. Okay, got it. And then I'm going to close this guy. Yes, leave the room. And I'm going to restart my computer just to be on the safe side. I don't know if it's something to do with the system. But I have a feeling that actually you guys are probably going to be seeing a much better view now that I'm on my tablet. This is okay. So this is going to sound really weird. We're talking right now on the Tab S8 Ultra, the one that we used that one time when Juan was over here. And surprise, surprise, it actually works much better on the tablet than it does on the phone, on the computer. So I'm in the process of restarting that entire setup right there. But let's go ahead and at least kind of go on. I see Jermaine's with us here. Jimmy Fire Dragon's in there. Tim R. Dominic, Purposely Gaming. Everybody. Oh boy, YouTube 2014. Yeah, I know. I don't even know why the system for some reason says that my internet is slow. I am using obviously Chrome on the desktop. This is a PC. This is more Android, obviously. But it seems like StreamYard loves the Tab S8 Ultra, and the front-facing camera on the Tab S8 Ultra is actually crazy good. It's one of those things where you enjoy being mobile and the ability of having you guys like move with me and like whoa with me kind of thing. No, I'm just kidding. And I'm hoping the microphones are not too bad. There's a little bit of fan noise, obviously, and that was one of the things here that it would probably pick up more fan noise than normal, and that would be probably the biggest thing. So I'm waiting in the process of getting the system back up and running. Once that's on, we'll be able to basically run it, and I think that should fix my problem. I'd like a good hard restart of the phone, of the computer. But yeah, so while this is coming up, It's been an interesting week. It's been a long week, but the reason why I keep talking about the OnePlus 10T launch event is because there's been kind of conversations going back and forth. Some people are excited about it. I'm one of them. Some people are concerned and are obviously maybe not feeling the same about the device as they used to, or not feeling the same about OnePlus as a company as they used to. And I want to share with you guys some of the things I've been experiencing with me, from using this phone. And we also kind of need to address the fact that, OnePlus is not just a company that makes OnePlus devices. OnePlus will also releases the Nord line, which is their budget devices, in different markets in the world that have different versions of this device. I see Rolando's in there. I got a chance to hang out with him for a quick minute there. Of course, we're in 2014. Let's go. That's just like, this is crazy. Okay, so the system is back up. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this thing up and running. I'm going to try to jump back into the stream with the normal setups and the goods and the stuffs. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Let's just jump in with both. This is, oh my God. Okay. We're just not having it today. Okay. So out of curiosity for you guys, everybody in the chat, which one looks better? The one on the left where I'm looking like I'm looking down to you guys, or the one that I'm facing you in this direction, which actually should be the feed on the right side? Which one looks better to you? And I realize the audio is coming in twice right now. It must be the internet. I don't know. I mean, the reality is it's either we do this or I jump on mobile data and we just have the entire stream running on my phone, which has enough power to do it. Quality of YouTube. This is crap. Oh my God. Okay, so if the left one is the one, then it's not my internet, it's my computer. Something is not jiving. Hold on a second. Let me. Yeah, this one. So I'm going to remove that one. I'm going to keep us here. Important, your audio was also removed. Add yourself back. Yeah, I know. I'm going to remove. Right. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to remove you. Okay, so now we're back. Okay. Okay, so now we should be okay. Audio hopefully going to be okay. It fixed itself now. Looks like it was TK before. I'm barely making it at 280, 20, not even 280, but now I need to hopefully get, well, I'm hoping the audio is good. So let's just stick with that. And it looks like we're going to be running the stream from the tablet. Welcome to Samsung Tab S8 Ultra for the save, for the win. Just now the PC stream was fine. Oh, okay. Then, it keeps giving me weak signal. I'll say this, on the PC, for some reason, just for reference, obviously I'm using you guys on a tablet, so we are on a Wi-Fi connection. The Wi-Fi connection from the same router seems to be running much better on the tablet than it is running on the PC. And I have a feeling it has something to do with the actual system. I don't know if maybe my Chrome needs to be updated, but something to the effect. I don't want to waste too much time. If this is working, I'm more than comfortable staying with it. We have enough juice on the tablet to run us for the rest of the show. PC stream was better. TK, can you switch back to the other cam? The connection seems to have corrected itself. Okay, let's try to say if we can do this. So I'm going to do the two streams. Okay, so right now we're looking at both of them. The one on the right is the main system, the normal system that we use. The one on the left is the tablet. Do you guys prefer the right or the left? And we'll just stick with whatever decision you guys go with, because I have no way of controlling the internet and I cannot fix the problem on the internet. And I'd rather not have to cancel the show. Both bad. Oh crap. Yeah. Okay. How do we fix this problem? Okay. You know what? I'm gonna do this. Let's do this. We're gonna have to go mobile. This is my last way of fixing this. So we're gonna go here. If this doesn't work, guys, I do apologize. We'll have to skip
we'll have to figure out something. I don't, or we could just basically, keep going, but then just make it so that it's an actual audio podcast and not a video podcast, or like there's no video component of it. You could do that too as well. And I don't know why my Gmail, like this is seriously, come on. Okay, Gmail's just taking forever. Here. Da, da, da. Here, okay. So we're gonna go enter Studio. So we're gonna try to do this on mobile and then see how this works. If this doesn't work, like I said, we're gonna end up having to figure out miraculously how to do this. So we're gonna go settings, we're gonna say audio, headset, it's picking up audio. Okay, this is picking up fine. And then camera. Okay, so this seems like it's the best that we could do here. We're gonna say cancel, I'm gonna say enter. And then here, I'm just gonna remove the other two. Okay. Now, how do we look? And we're gonna shut this one guy down. Okay, so how do we sound? How do we look? Okay, this is fun. Okay. Audio. Oh my God. Okay. Audio. There's still like some echoing. Hold on. Mute. Okay. And I don't know if I don't know if it's the tablet. Okay. We got rid of the echo. Okay, please let me know. What do you guys think? Which one? Does this look good? Does this look acceptable, reasonable? Can we live with this? And of course, how does the audio? Slight echo, very bad echo. I'm hoping the echo's gone now because I know what the problem was. The tablet, even though I shut the screen off, was still connected to the actual stream. Does this make sense? It's fine. Oh man, yeah, that sucks. It's okay. Not audio, not amazing, but you sound fine enough. Okay. Okay. Last thing we're going to try on the audio side, because I know the audio side is important to me as well. I don't really want to mess with it too much. I'm going to switch out of the Pixel buds to buds that I know perform very, very well. I'm hoping the audio kind of readjusts. So I'm going to go ahead switch, and I'm going to go into settings. I'm going to go into audio, headset audio, echo cancellation. We're going to give it a little bit of boost. Okay, how does the audio sound now? We're going to put this guy away. TK, we can definitely survive with this. I know, and I feel weird. Okay, so Dominic is jumping in with, it's fine now. I mean, Bluetooth audio. Not surprised that the audio is bad. No, I know it was Bluetooth. It was mostly because I was trying to figure out a way to get this thing to keep this thing going. So let's do this. We're gonna fix the camera. So I'm gonna have you guys stay with me here 1 second, and we're gonna try here. I'm going to try to give you guys a better perspective, almost as good as what we typically have. Oops, sorry, I'm going to put it here, we're going to put it there. Come on. Trying to get this thing running is just fun. Just pure, unadulterated, nothing's going to work today type of fun. This reminds me like when I'm traveling, and I'm not even traveling. So here we are. Nope, not happening. I don't have an actual tripod set here, but I'm going to try here. Okay. Now, We should be okay, as good as possible, as good as we can. Okay, so let's do this. I put the camera where it's supposed to be, although now it's not using the main camera, it's using the S22 Ultra. And just to be on the safe side that we don't compromise the connection, we're going to go ahead and provide power to the said S22 Ultra so that the S22 Ultra does not decide to go asleep on us. Okay, TK, okay, perfect. So we got it set much better. TK, what is that Super Saiyan, what is that Super Saiyan action figure, fan of Dragon Ball GT, TK? I am a fan. Well, I mean, okay, I'll say this very, very briefly on this. I'm a fan of all Dragon Ball. I am very excited for the movie that's about to come out in another week or so. I think on the 18th here in the US. I'm actually surprised. I'm not surprised. I am actually a fan of the GT saga purely because that's how we have, Super Saiyan 4. Obviously, the storyline is very different. We also have different conversations, but the fact is that, with action figures, they kind of blur the lines between GT, Z, and, the original Dragon Ball series and the Super. So I always have, yeah, I do have some action figures here. One second. Oops. Since we're going to do show and tell, why not do this? So here we have, this is my Dragon Ball GT, of course, Goku SSJ4. And of course, it just keeps going. So I have a nice little collection of things going on. And since you guys are mobile, we can always do a little tour there as well. So I'll put that one back. And I like the fact that I'm mobile and I'm also using Bluetooth. So yeah, back to the show, back to the chaos that is. It is still, I love it. I love the form. But I also like when they do Gogeta in SSJ4 in there, or even Super Saiyan God Red. Different things they kind of combined the concepts going on with Dragon Ball, and I love the fusions, especially when you start combining Gotenks and so on, and or even Vegito. So depending on the form that we're looking at. I was watching a podcast, or not watching, listening to a podcast story talking about a storyline for Goku being stuck in the hyperbolic chamber for over 1,000 years and reaching a new form, but being really pissed at everybody and coming back and exacting revenge and a whole bunch. It's like a different side of a story going on. Vegeta SSJ4 looked less. Yeah, I feel like it was a. I mean, even in the storyline, if you think about it, I mean, we could definitely go in there, but yeah, SSJ4 Vegeta is not exactly. It looks a little bit off color because you're used to seeing Vegeta with the pointy top hair, and then the way this kind of added to it, it just added more like kind of like sideburns and stuff like that. It just setup is a little bit weird. But yeah, all the dragon. How was Jermaine's? Jermaine's drawing was crazy, man. I want to see more. I want to see more time lapses of his creations. Seriously, I wish I had that inclination to be able to do that type of, I would say, experiences with anime and so on. I'm definitely a connoisseur. I'm a consumer, and I love talking about it. But it comes very hard for me to be able to create content to that effect. But it was very nice. I say this because I have Dragon Ball Fighter Z on the brand new laptop Go 2, little tiny laptop, and I'm able to play that whenever I am. So it's really, really nice to kind of keep it there. So let's go ahead and start this. I'm controlling this from the main PC, so this is the reason why you'll see me looking on the right and left, and we're going to have a weird way of doing it in the TKception this week. First and foremost, in the way things are going, I'll say this. The answer to the question that we started off the stream with, or at least I have in the title of the stream, is the OnePlus 10T bad? No, the phone is not bad. It's not like this is, is a phone that just DOA. No, it's not. It's a phone that offers a lot, that has a lot of things to say. Is it the best OnePlus 10 device in 2022? That's going to be a little bit subjective to your needs and what you value in a smartphone. Is it a true OnePlus? Yes, it holds to OnePlus's ecosystem. It shows us some of the new improvements, some of the things that we're going to be going forward with, but it does have some variations on what we saw with the 10 Pro. And I think OnePlus going forward is shifting the approach of what is their premium experience and what is their general consumer offering. So more of the, not necessarily mid-range, but like that flagship killer experience that they typically give us. What OnePlus achieved on Wednesday with their announcement and launch was a couple of things. They brought the first 8 Plus Gen 1 SoC from Qualcomm to the US market, officially available in the US market to buy from a US market retailer in the US. Because I got some people talking to me and they were like, well, what about the Red Magic? Red Magic is a device that is sold outside of the US. It just ships to the US. It's not available in the US market the same way as OnePlus is available. And hopefully at some point we'll start hearing more about carrier support, and we'll probably see it maybe like T-Mobile, like we've seen in the past.
I mean, there's no confirmation on that. I'm just guessing based on past performance. So there's that achievement. Their second achievement was the ability of giving us said SoC for $650, starting at $650 in the US. And just to mention before we get too far in this, I do want to say that the $650, at least through the end of August, meaning during the pre-sale orders, and there's a few days available for that, you're able to pick up that 12 gig, sorry, the 16 gig, or no, 12. There's an 8 and a 16. 16 gigabyte 256 storage option, which typically will sell for $750 for $650. So you're getting the best version of the 10T at the $650 price point, which is crazy considering, again, the 8 Plus Gen 1, the 16 gigs of RAM, the internal storage capabilities, the fact that we're also running on 120 hertz display, and all of the oxygen OS optimizations that we have from OnePlus. So this is a device that's intended to be a flagship experience in a budget-friendly device. And OnePlus also did the other thing, which will also reduce the price of the 10 Pro and the 10, the both models on the 10 Pro, meaning the 10 Pro is not even in the 900s anymore. It's in the 800 and something. So it's 869 or 8, I think it's under $900. And the starting price of it, where we used to be $899, is $799. So from $650 to $750 to $799 and $899, you're getting the gamut of all OnePlus devices in 2022. So for that, I say that they definitely have a very good spread. I like the T series being the second device they released over releasing a lower, more watered down version, which would be typically like the 10 as opposed to having that. So a 10 Pro and a 10T to me fit and make perfect sense for me. But not everybody's on board with that because there's also the conversation of the things they took out and also some compromises they did in there. But before I go too far, I do want to read some comments. I'm realizing since I'm doing it separately, now that I have to look further out, I just want to make sure I don't miss out on any of the comments in there. So we're going to go real quick. So that Ash's comment was the last one I put in there. And Jermaine is, dude, you are so far ahead of most people when it comes down to drawings. Absolutely, dude. Amazing, amazing for sure. On my Nothing Phone 1, oh, dude. So I got a chance to see it at the launch event. You know what? It looks nice. It has a good feel. I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna deny it. It's definitely intriguing, and the skiff is definitely an eye-catching. It's one of those devices you have to put it in a clear case. You cannot put a skin on it or cover the LEDs because it's part of the experience. It's like saying the LEDs right above me there are pointless, but for me, they just basically a visual EQ to whenever I'm talking. So it makes it looks a little bit interesting in case, for visual effects, but the skiff looks really, really nice. TK, you may think it's falling apart massively, especially since the Oppo merger. So, okay. Let's address that a little bit more directly. Thank you for pointing the question out, Jimmy. The question is realistically is this. OnePlus started as an enthusiast brand. OnePlus started at the beginning as a cyanogen phone company, meaning they made the first cyanogen phone. It just happened to be OnePlus hardware with cyanogen as their operating system. Now that's the combination that we got introduced to OnePlus on. As time went on, we saw, and OnePlus wasn't necessarily hiding it, that every year the price ever so gently goes up a little bit, the feature set gets a little bit better, and that was their consistent story. And then we are now at OnePlus 10, minus the OnePlus 4, obviously, since that number never happened. So you go from basically going into a situation that, yeah, this is the story, this is what OnePlus has been telling us all around. The difference is Oppo's playing a much bigger role now than what Oppo used to play in the past. And what I mean by this is there's a whole bunch of, I mean, if you guys remember when OnePlus first came out, the whole big thing about it was the fact that it's a subsidiary of Oppo, and people kept wanting to say it's a sub-brand of Oppo, and OnePlus wanted to be more unique. So the reality, that story kind of died down. We stopped talking about that, and as time went on, now the conversation comes back. Oppo and OnePlus are BBK brands. Realme, Vivo, all of these are BBK brands. So at some point or another, there is a relationship between them, even if it's not an explicit one, it was always there. What's happening right now is we're starting to merge features from OnePlus into Oppo and from Oppo into OnePlus. And this is a two-way direction thing. We're not doing one way where Oppo basically is taking over on this thing. But in reality, for lack of a better term, what you're seeing now is the benefit of both sides. Oppo benefited from having Hasselblad, and then of course OnePlus is benefiting from having Oppo's ecosystem. Now, without this, we wouldn't be able to get the faster charging technology. We wouldn't be able to get an 80-watt charger that basically fits in a car, and you're able to charge your OnePlus 10 Pro from 0 to 100 in about 30 minutes in a car. Like literally, almost as long as it takes you to get to the office, your phone can go to 100%. Now, they also brought in much better technology with the 10T, which going up to 150 watts internationally and 125 in the US. So what I'm trying to say is, I guess if I'm looking at it from the aspect, yes, but we have to appreciate what OnePlus has been able to do and where is OnePlus trying to be. They never hit the fact that they wanted to make it. They wanted to be one of the top brands in the world, but they also didn't, it's not like they were, surprisingly overnight this happened. This has been years in the making. So when we look at it in that sense, sorry, I'm getting like 1,000 notifications in my hand. When we see this, we need to appreciate what they've done and also the benefits that we're getting. Oxygen OS is still one of the faster options on the market. It's still one of the most fluid one, even if it is based on ColorOS 12. And the only time you see those two and you start seeing those combination of conversations, if you are a reviewer or if you are a person that's been like an enthusiast that always looks at both ecosystems and wants to know which one is better than the other. At the end of the day, if you live in the US, Oppo is not the option you can get. OnePlus is about the only way. And the lack of the alert slider, I think, is a big move. I honestly think OnePlus should have kept it. I'm not going to deny the fact that I think this is like their calling card, right? This is like me, saying the beard and the glasses and all of that stuff kind of changes. OnePlus did say that they're bringing it back. I don't know if they're going to be making it so that the Pro series gets those type of features, the slider, the 8K recording, the 4K 120 recording, the better camera system, the collaboration with Hasselblad. And then the T series, the Turbo series, focuses more on speed and performance than it does on camera and that type of experience, where they feel like the 10 Pro still provides the 10T series experience, but it just gives more focus on the camera side. So long story, incredibly long, because I'm making this really longer than it needs to be. The reality at the end of the day is this. Oppo is bringing things to the table, but as an enthusiast, as a brand fan of OnePlus, we should be excited to see of some of the new things we're able to gain from having Oppo involved in the conversation and not necessarily feel like the brand is dead. At the end of the day, what we have with OnePlus, with Oxygen OS, will still move forward. It may be based on ColorOS, and we'll start seeing some ColorOS features come through. But at the end, it still is an Oppo. I mean, it's still an Oppo OnePlus kind of merger, and a much more, I say it's a much more cohesive relationship than what we've seen before. And again, everybody knows Realme uses Oppo's operating system, but yet Realme never gets the beef for it. We just need to be a little bit more lenient with what we get there. At the end of the day, as a consumer, we're going to benefit from having this, because this is going to give us more features coming in from the Oppo side, and Oppo users can definitely benefit on the other side. So I'm hoping that makes sense. I'm not trying to justify the merger. I'm just saying, since it's happened, we have no way of stopping it. We need to see about what's happening. Is this totally an ending conversation, or are there going to be some things for us there that will definitely benefit? So hopefully that makes sense. And I am super behind on comments. I do say, what time is it? It's like 10:51 there. And yeah, so I'm about like 6 minutes away from the comments themselves. And let me see here real quick. So I see Dominic in there. The OnePlus 10 Pro device I do really like. Green is stunning. So the colors that we see here with 10T are a little bit different. And so the version I have is the black, the black color one. And hope this is, again, focusing on, let's see, can we get this? No, the camera on the front here is not going to be that realistic to give us. Oh, here it is. There's a little bit of a shimmer in there. So what I'm trying to say is the color that we have here is different than the 10 Pro. The camera stack on the back is different. The camera setup on the back is different. They look similar, but there's quite a bit of differences between the two when you hold them together. Overall, cases between the two don't fit the same way. The camera bump, or the camera's stack on the back, is ever so slightly shifted. So cases like bumper cases and so on don't work the exact same way. But what you're looking at essentially with the 10T is a device that you basically live and die by one, which is the main sensor on the back, the IMX766. And you're going to get the best experience there for video, audio, everything that you want to get out of this device is going to come out of that main sensor. But it's really not focusing. It's not intending to be the best camera that device that that OnePlus put out in 2022. It's intended to be the best performer out of the two, and it does outperform the 10 Pro in the sense of the 8 Plus Gen 1 for the processor, 16 gigs of RAM, which we don't even have an option for the 10 Pro, and also the ability of being able to go to 125 and 150 watt charging speed included in the box charger that is crazy, and it still offers us the 45-watt PD charging. So same charger in the US will run at 125. If I take this with me to Europe or something outside of the US, it runs at 150 and it charges my phone. So the turbo is really focusing on that, and we need to appreciate it for that reason. If you're getting it because of the cameras, then you should get the Pro. You should just get this one if you want basically a decent camera on the back, but primarily a one really good camera on the phone, and the rest kind of complementing cameras are okay, but just not the highest performers. So hopefully that makes sense. Oh my God. Okay, my OnePlus 10 Pro is. Oh crap. Okay, Ash, sorry about that. Have you? I mean, when you say hard brick, like there's no chance. Have you tried checking the forums and seeing if there's any way to unbrick it? I mean, I know hard brick are typically considered to be like one of the worst things ever, but the worst thing that you could do if you're able to reset it or get it back up and running is obviously the data's gone. But at the end of the day, maybe you can salvage the phone, or even try to get in touch with OnePlus and see if they can repair it for you. It's hard. I understand running. Oh man, I do apologize on that. Official, so Joe got the official clear case with it, and I'm hoping they also have the glass protector. I did put in an order for the glass protector on the OnePlus 10T, just because I couldn't find a reasonable one online, and OnePlus is selling it. And it's weird. For the longest time, OnePlus will always sell glass protectors, first-party glass protectors, for their flat displays. They have since, I think I want to say, the 7 Pro stopped selling glass for their curved displays. It's too much work, and it's much easier for them to just let other companies do it. Do it right or don't do it, or don't do it at all, kind of thing. TK, definitely, I can definitely imagine OnePlus not existing anymore, because they literally have settled. TK, they literally have settled. Yeah, I think as a brand, the name OnePlus won't go away. The experience for what OnePlus used to be is evolving. I think at the end, to a certain point, yeah, they've reached what they wanted to reach. They wanted to become a major brand. They never wanted to be an enthusiast brand only, and no company wants that. This is something that we have to be very clear. To a point, yes. Did they start off with the moniker saying, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to try to do, and the hustle and all that good stuff? Yes, but like I said, at the end of the day, what we see here is an evolutionary, OnePlus basically growing up, right? So this is OnePlus as an adult that has a 9-to-5 job, and they need to do their stuff. This is typically what OnePlus wants to do. So they work with the carriers, they work to provide a better selection, better options for us in the US. So this is the reason why I'm trying to leverage also the conversation is this. For us here in the US, which is obviously a little bit different than the rest of the world, we are limited in selection when it goes down to carriers and what we see. Up till the point OnePlus was able to make it into the business and work with let's say T-Mobile, AT&T, and so on, we didn't really have much options. Pixel for some reason at some point was picking up, and then it stopped being in stores. LG used to be in stores, then they stopped being in stores, and then you got HTC also kind of falling off. For the most part, it's been basically a Samsung, Apple game sitting in a store with other brands that kind of come and go. We're now at a point where OnePlus is a game conversation. Now you go into a store, you see that there. You go online on their sites, you see those options in there, and you see some of the price differences there. That's the biggest factor for me of why I appreciate having OnePlus in the conversation. Now, how did OnePlus get here, and what relationship does OnePlus have to Oppo? Those are things that obviously contribute to the story, but for the general consumer, excluding us, everybody in the chat talking right now are obviously very big fans of they're aware of the brand is, but we are kind of in a certain way also kind of referring to what most people will see. They're going to see a value in what OnePlus offers at the price point. $650 for the latest SoC with 16 gigs of RAM and all of the different things that we have in there, from the Oxygen OS installation, the large display, the 120 hertz, is a crazy deal to offer, and it is a very nice options to go. Now, I'm not saying T-Mobile will have that. I'm just saying when you're looking at it in that sense, and I'm referencing also the best version of that device. So yeah, absolutely. When you follow the story and you're looking at it, absolutely. But we also kind of need to understand that the general users of OnePlus may not be aware of all of the background, and they may be introduced to OnePlus through a carrier for the first time, either be it in Europe, be in the US, in India, even in the Middle East. And they're probably going to be they'll be very happy with what they see. So we have to also kind of look at it from the other side. I do feel, though, with what happened and where we are and how the story kind of went, because now we don't have, it's no longer the flagship killer experience, is the what is OnePlus doing every year to try to optimize and improve the experience for us on their devices. I actually say Nothing Phone 1 the Nothing Phone 1 cost me £434 for the 8256 official clear case as well. That's the one I saw. The one of my buddies from India when I was at the launch event showed me the Nothing Phone, and I think I saw Nick Gray. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Nick Gray, Android. He also had one as well. He's been putting out some content on that as well. So I got a chance to hold it for a couple of minutes, not really use it, but just hold it. And I'm hoping at some point we'll be able to get some time with it. If I do have the opportunity, I'm going to try to get my hands on it, buy it while I'm in IFA. I will be going to IFA in about a month or so and hopefully be able to pick it up there from Germany, because that'll be the easiest way for me to just get my own and not have to worry about bothering anybody to get me mine. And I'm not looking to be on this. This is purely for more understanding what the Nothing Phone 1 is trying to offer us and what they're trying to offer, bring us to the conversation. Hold on. I think I saw something about the alert slider. I want to jump back that one. I like. I'm trying to keep it or not yet. Oh, okay. I like it, but I'm not sure if I want to keep it or sell it at this point. If you are going to sell it, Ash, let me know. Let me know, because if you may be able to maybe have you send it over to Germany. We'll have to see how that goes. Space differentiation. Okay, so this is a good one. So Aditya jumps in, our Mr. Cumberbatch, obviously, of our channel. I do believe software-based differences of phones with similar specs is very much an artificial segregation done by the OEM, but I understand why they have to do it. So the gating, I think that's basically the gatekeeping. Your statement, Aditya, by the way, falls on a couple of things, and I want to touch on both sides. There's that function when companies do that, right? Like they'll give you features for a specific device, but then they won't give it to you. So give it to you at the higher end, but they take it away at the lower end, and it kind of basically forces you to go from one side to the other. Samsung's been doing even a harder sell on that one this year by doing a hardware and software constraints to make it so that if you go in to get the S22, you more than likely would just say, well, why am I getting this when I can just get for a little bit more the S22 Plus? That is a tactic. I know to a certain point with the way we see devices, this generation of devices and how things are doing this, that works in that market to be able to sell us on things. So OnePlus wants to make it so that the 8 Pro or the 10 Pro, sorry, is the best at photography. So all the best photography features are going to go there. But I don't feel like that's the biggest thing. But again, like I said, that's the focus of the device. The same conversation flips over to when we see ColorOS and what we see with OxygenOS, because then the same conversation goes where we get certain features on ColorOS, we don't get them on OxygenOS, and the vice versa. We get things on OxygenOS that we don't get on ColorOS. And that also could be a differentiator, because there is a big fact of the last 2 generations of devices. The Find X3 Pro and the OnePlus 9 Pro are siblings, and they are so similar. Camera stack aside, very similar experience. When you look at the Find X5 Pro and then OnePlus 10 Pro, very similar experience. Again, display is the same. We're looking at this very different camera stack on the back, but for the most part, a very similar experience and gated by those features. So we appreciate the 10 Pro and the Find X5 Pro for their own unique experiences, and we understand that this is basically Oppo's customizations. And then, of course, then we get also on the 10 Pro what OnePlus's customizations are. But gating a 4K 120, 8K on the SoC that can do it, B, the camera that can do it, and then C, the having only USB 2.0 on a phone that is intended to be super fast. I felt like we should have had those things taken care of, and I think that those should have been at least turned on, even if they're not in there for the sake of being very functional or adding any additional ones, because we don't have Hasselblad, right? Would have still made people feel like you're still trying to give us that, bring down all those lovely features. But yeah, we don't know. I mean, there's still a possibility they can turn the software functions on later on with a software update. I did not get a chance to ask them, so I will have to definitely send that in and see what they say. Let's see what we have here. Oh, there's an MSM. Okay, so there's no. Okay, so OnePlus does not have any local. So the Ash's company come jumping. OnePlus UK agreed to take it, but never got back to me. I gave up after a month. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, I really hate. I really hate having heartbreaks are very tough, very very tough. Jermaine jumping back in. TK, to be fair, OnePlus started with the latest flagship, but a very a compressing camera experience. A compromising camera experience compared to the flagship sound very similar to what the 10T is based, but less compromise on the camera. Yeah, no. So this is the difference between what we see on devices. This is going to be something that we kind of just have to understand. Some features are going to be locked to certain things. Now, you have to remember this is a OnePlus. You can unlock the bootloader and you can definitely install a custom ROM once the custom ROMs will start coming out on the 10T. And you're definitely going to be able to get the best that you can and even more than. So this is, we can't forget that OnePlus is very big on allowing us to do things to our devices that we want. The stock experience of what we're looking at, and also with the tease of OnePlus Oxygen OS 13. ColorOS hasn't been shown yet, but yeah, so we saw a teaser at the launch event. Those are things that we also kind of need to see what it is. There's a lot more visual effects, more visual driven aesthetics that are going to be coming into Oxygen OS 13. So we need to also kind of talk about that part. But I understand. I know what you mean. I'm with you on that one. Is it someone from TechWeezer, TK, or by any chance? Actually, I'm not sure if it's from TechWeezer. I have to double check on that. There was a lot of different. OnePlus's launch for the 10T was very interesting this year. Typically, we've seen OnePlus multi or simulcast the same event from multiple areas. So they'll have one launch event in India, one in Europe, or depending how they were doing it. And typically, for the most part, we had Carl Pei do all of those announcements. And Carl Pei is nowhere there. Obviously, he's no longer with the company. And we had actually their head of marketing for the different regions come in and talk to us. So this was a big also shift in what OnePlus is used to doing in their release system. So I think it was a good experience. It was all aggregated in one spot. We had everybody come in. We got to see our friends that we typically see at like CES or major launch events, and this was pretty much in that spirit for sure. Coverage of the Nothing phone. I do. I want to, and I'm not going to lie to you. I seriously want to, but it's a tough. It's like I said, it was tough. I talked to just a little bit of BTS. I talked to Matt before the phone was available, and with the cost of the phone and the timing and when it's going to be available, it would have been basically roughly when it's coming out, like another week or so. I would have received it had I pre-ordered at the time. There is other options as well. I may still be able to get my hands on it, so I'll see what I can do then, and I'll try to maybe you and I can talk a little bit afterwards and see what we could do. Maybe you can help me out a little bit. You're right. The big thing is that IFA is still in a month away, roughly a month away. So anything that I want to do on that then, it means it would be mid-September type of coverage, which at that point, as we all know, the YouTube algorithm will be like, yeah, like what happened to some of the other things on the market. Considering selling mine so I can get a 6A, maybe even a 6 again. It's interesting that you'd want to sell it and go back to a 6A. I would probably say if you had it, 6A would definitely be an upgrade. Based purely on processing power, but it also depends on what you want to get out of it. I feel like the 6 is better stacked for camera experience because of the main sensor that we have in the back. But at the end of the day, you have to kind of figure out what the budget is. I think the 6A is still a very good phone. It did receive a software update actually as we were talking, and the battery is too low. I still need to do this. Sorry, hopefully you guys won't drop. There was another small update that they pushed to the 6A. It's like a meg, 1.25 megs, which is crazy small, that it was basically just pushed out to the devices. So I'm hoping to get this thing done and updated. So, because I want to start using it again after the update and see how things have been going there. At the moment, I'm good. Thanks, Jimmy. Then doing okay. Okay. So there's not going to be a grounded text stream today, tonight. Maybe tomorrow. I'm looking to doing them every week. Okay. No, I get it. Let me see here. Okay, cool. Thank goodness, isn't it? Isn't it with that? Oh man. Okay, so Jimmy is saying is jumping back with Jimmy, he says, so the past three generations of the past two generations of the Findex line have been so different, especially since the vegan leather with the X2 Pro, absolutely the best, still one of my favorite devices, and a bit weird with the no 512 gigabytes option this year, and of course compared to the Find X2 Pro. So Oppo's Find series is their experimental series, and we've learned that obviously since every year, as you can imagine, they look very different. Except for the Find X3 Pro and the Find X5 Pro look similar. They didn't go dramatically on the change because the Find X2 Pro, which is what we were talking about with the vegan leather, that was definitely a very interesting, very premium feeling with the yellow goldish trim around the side. You felt like you were holding a much more premium phone, and it is a premium phone. The cameras were very nice. Um, and it was on the Find X2 Pro that we got to see the evolutionary night and day shift for Oppo when it comes down to ColorOS, going from the ColorOS 7.1 to ColorOS 11, which was dramatically faster, smoother. The device felt like it was reborn, and to me, at least, that was a massive move. And they've continued it with ColorOS 12, and obviously, hopefully, we'll be able to see that with ColorOS 13. As we've seen, that 13 is basically the optimizations that we wanted to see in Android 12, but obviously coming out. The thing I would probably say is that's something that we should always expect from Oppo. Oppo is known for this, and this is kind of like saying, Vivo is not going to be releasing a phone with a great camera this year. You wouldn't expect that. Vivo does that. That's what Vivo does, and that's their bread and butter. So the storage not having 512 options, that is something that I don't know if it's maybe region locked or maybe a region thing. Any device that is going to be providing you top of the line performance, top of the line camera experience, and that you're going to be filling up right away should not be available in anything less than 128. But even then, I would recommend a 256 and a 512 because you're right. You want to have something that has more storage, that makes sense, that works, and you're able to store your things on it. I know the Find N that they released later last year, early this year in China, comes with a 512 gig option, and that's a foldable. So you're right. We should have more options like that, for sure. Oh yeah, I want to go really need to see. So yeah, IFA's thing is becoming more and more realistic or more reality for me as I'm able to basically work with. I found a sponsor that's hopefully going to be able to get me to the show. So at least the credentials are there. The sponsorship is hopefully working itself out. I'll know within another couple of days or maybe a week or so. And the good thing about it is I'll be able to bring some of the content from there. I'm noticing though, I'll say this, I'm starting to hear from different companies saying that they're probably not going to be there. Specifically, I know Xiaomi's not going to be there. If I'm not mistaken, I think Oppo's not going to be there. Realme, OnePlus are not going to be there. So it's primarily, I'm assuming, the bigger side, probably not to say bigger, but like, Samsung, Apple, or actually you don't even Apple know. I know when I went last time, Samsung was there. I know Motorola was there. HTC was there. I also know Google was there. And that's because those are the things that interest me right away. So those are the things I was like gravitating towards. And we also had, if you guys remember the watch, I forgot the name of it, man. It's the watch that wrapped around the entire hand, that big display. So long story, we saw that, and there's that part of it that covers mobile. And of course, there's going to be Honor and Huawei that are going to be there as well, because I've been talking to some of them as well about setting up some time and interviewing and talking to some people about their announcements around there. So we'll have to see how that kind of goes. So I'm really excited to see that. But it's not going to be as big as what we saw at MWC, which was everybody. It is in Berlin. It is in early September. So we'll see how that goes. And my hope is that if you guys are going, let me know. I'd love to be able to do a little bit of meetup, maybe catch some lunch, and of course talk. Jermaine, if you're able to, that'll be really nice. It'd be nice to finally see, the concept creator in real life, IRL all the way. Let me see here real quick. I think I was seeing. Don't forget Oppo. Sorry, OnePlus to our local upgrade. Oh yeah. So one thing to mention, I think Greg was messaging me when I was while I was traveling and also on. It seems like the local file update option in OnePlus devices is not necessarily going to be available. There are ways of restoring it. If you've ever tried a beta or if ever had to downgrade software using a beta program with OnePlus, they've always shared an APK to add that function in, as in their early betas or alphas. They typically remove that. So, but I think that's what there's an APK to fix that. If you need it, you can get it for sure. Yeah, I forget. I can't remember the name of that watch. I forget the name of it. It was a very interesting concept of a watch, and it offered a very unique experience. But I probably would say it's the software support on it. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure to get the. Hey, come on, go back. Yeah, of course. I get all the notifications in the middle of the show because that's how we do it. So let me see here. Did I get the update? Did it finish installing the update? Nope, it's still installing the update on this one. It's not that bad of an update. It's just a nice one to actually get. one of the Huawei watches or the Mi Band, as they are massive. No. It was, oh my God, I can't remember. It was made by, see, now you guys are gonna make me look for it. Okay, let me see if I can find it real quick for us here. Let's switch over on the right side. And because I even put it, I know so here, I don't even have to go. I have to go that far. I just have to go to my Instagram and look at my reels, because it was one of my reels that I put in, and I'll give it a second here. Da, da, da. It's a Nubia. Yeah, exactly. Can't remember the name of the watch. And of course, looking through my reels in the middle of the show is not necessarily the best situation to do it, but it was. Okay, where is it? Come on! I see now it's killing me. Like, I need to know which watch it was. Nope, not this one. Let me see. Anyway, is it the Nubia Alpha? I want to say that may be it. I don't remember. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I can't seem to find it. This thing, I have way too many things going on here, but I cannot remember the name of it. But yeah, it probably is the Nubia Alpha. Let me see here. Nubia Alpha. Can't find it. Dang, this must have been a long time ago. Okay, if I can't find it, and I thought I saw it for a second there, and it's not in there. Okay, I'm gonna stop looking for it because I think it's not it's not healthy for me to keep looking. Okay, so I can't seem to find it, but we're probably gonna say that it is the Nubia Alpha, according to a video I'm watching right now. Yeah, no, it's probably called the Nubia Alpha. You're right. But no, Huawei will be releasing some content, and we'll see what happens. I'll be definitely, according to video's introduction. No, I'm with you. But those are the things that you typically see. I'm not going to be there that long, but we'll have to see how that goes. I do want to talk a little bit about the Unpacked event that's going to be happening next week, because I saw some interesting tweets, not tweaks, into this that I want to share with you guys, which was very nice. I'm hoping we'll be able to do this here. So let's go profile. And it was a French, I don't know who the person is, and I'm hoping the tweets are still there. Yeah, no, the tweet is still sitting there. So here we are. Let's do, I'm going to bring you guys here. I'm going to say share screen. And you know what? It's probably going to look super grainy, super fuzzy, because that's how we're doing it. And that's how life is today. So here, double click, and here. So this is potentially, or at least from what this person is claiming to be, the brand new Zfold4 that's going to be released by Samsung in less than a week. So let me just do something real quick. The reason why I'm actually kind of mentioning this, and the reason why I'm showing this with you guys, is notice any changes. Do you notice any big changes going on? Because I don't see any changes aesthetically. Maybe most of the changes are going to be on the inside. The display is still there. We can definitely still see the camera. The camera is still sitting there. They're probably still trying to do the under display camera thing going on. But as far as the camera stack, the camera experience on the back, they look very similar. I will say probably a little bit bigger on the lenses, or but that could just be also a visual effect, making the cameras look the way they are. So I'll try to see if I can get. Oh, yeah, forget about this part. We're doing this here, so you can see the camera stack on the back looks exactly the same. And the gentleman also posted some pictures. Let's see, one last one. So here's an angle picture. It looks like he's in a room with a lot of AC. If we go to his site and we check real quick, right before that, he posted a couple pictures of the Z Flip 4, which, surprise, surprise, looks exactly, aesthetically wise at least, as the Z Flip 3. So from a hardware standpoint, and let's just, we're going to remove this and come back. From a hardware standpoint, I'm not seeing any point of what Samsung's trying to do, at least in 2022, at least from what we're seeing, at least with the hardware right now. For what I see here, it looks like the 2022 edition of the Flip and the Fold are going to look very much the same. There may be some improvements on the internals, battery life, probably a better processor for sure. Hopefully the 8 Plus Gen 1, although wouldn't be surprised if the 8 Gen 1 is the one that powers this. But the question would be, is this making it enough of an excitement of what things are to come? Meaning, does this actually give us the experience or the year-over-year, let's go ahead and say stop there, year-over-year upgrade that Samsung's trying to put for us? And I'm not necessarily very excited at this point based on these leaks. Now, there are obviously other things that are going to be launching. There's going to be a new watch coming out. a whole bunch of other things, potentially optimizations, maybe services, customizations, and so on. But right now, I'm a little bit less excited about to see what they're going to be coming out, because if it's just a internal spec bump from last year, the question kind of coming up is, what's the point? What's the point of for anybody to look into upgrading into it unless they're like still rocking the first foldable? Now they could still also have a very big difference in differentiator when it comes down to pricing, availability. I'm looking to see the Z Flip drop below $9,000, not just by $1, but by a substantial amount, so that it becomes even more affordable for people to jump into it. Maybe better technologies as far as maybe finally giving us stereo speakers on a Z Flip, because that should be there from before. Maybe giving us decks on a Z Flip, as again some of the things they decide to gatekeep for the Z Fold, but not the Flip. So we'll have to see how that kind of comes out. I'm excited to see if they do actually change things on the pricing and making it more affordable, and that's why they stuck with the design. I'm totally okay for them skipping this massive change, but giving us better pricing, because now prices and hardware that they're using that they did 2 years ago or a year and a half ago when they released the Z Flip 3 and 4 are 3 and 3 are lower enough for them. So we'll have to see. Jermaine is jumping in saying, I haven't understood. I don't understand what Samsung has been doing for a while, like the weird S22 Ultra, just using the Note Ultra as a base. The approach of what we're seeing with Samsung, and this is sadly, it's called complacency. They're very much not complaint. They're basically very happy where they are. They don't feel like they need to move the needle anymore. This is bad for them, because all you're doing is, and I'll say this maybe in a better way. Okay, in a race, right? When there are people in a race, there's different companies, moving forward, trying to give us better. There's always going to be the basically momentum, the leader, the pack leader, or maybe even the timer, or everybody, the pace keeper that everybody wants to keep pace with. For the longest time, Samsung was doing a lot of that. Within the last couple of generation of devices, and this is not to say that I don't like Samsung, I'm just saying basically with the S22 and S21, the S21 for me was a compromise over the S20. It was an upward motion with the S10 series. The S20 series kind of came over and they said, look, we're going to give you a bigger battery, we're going to give you faster charging, but we're going to take away the headphone jack, or you're going to keep the SD card on the flagship side. But you know what I mean? Like it was an interesting tailoring, but it was one of the very few smartphones on the market that had a flagship experience with an SD card and MSD support. S21 comes along and says, no, we're going to ditch the SD card, we're going to ditch the MSD support, and we're also going to ditch the fast charging. We're going to take you down to 25 watt, because that's what we are. So since then, yes, it's been kind of a weird mixed bag of, I don't know who is directing, who is moving, who is thinking that, we are okay. We've reached a certain level that nobody can attain. There are so many better options now than what Samsung offers. In foldable market, I still think the Find N series, and I'll be very, I'm not going to lie to you. Here, my Find N series, and okay, I don't have this. I think so. The example would be here: the Find N, and of course the Z Flip 4. Well, what could look like the Z Flip 4, because at this point, so we're looking at two small different form factor, but the Find N is shorter, easier to hold in one hand. I can actually hold the phone, and I can use it, and I can reach every single aspect of the phone in one hand. Where the Z Flip 3 or the 4, there is no way my hand is able to use it. It's like, it's so much wider when you're using it, but also when you close it. The display on the front is a weird shape still. And it looks like we're continuing that with the Z Flip 4. I did not see a full display, a full front display on the Z Flip 4. So it's going to be interesting and see what kind of goes on there. But yeah, no, the Find N is seriously still one of my favorite devices when it comes to portability. And I've actually been using this more within the last year that I've had since I got this one over the Z Flip, Z Fold. Not because I don't like the Z Fold, but because of the pocketability. I can put this in my hand pocket, open it up, get a full display, and if I don't want it, put it in, close it, and I still have a fully functioning phone on the outside. And it supports bands in the US. I'm able to get 4G LTE on this, so it's not an issue for me from a connectivity issue. It's more about what do I want to do and what do I want to get out of my phone. So this is going to be the biggest thing coming up. Oh, you already have the Z Flip. Yes, this is for all intents and purposes, with the exception of the SoC, the exact same experience you're going to get from the Z Fold 4. It's going to be a foldable phone. It's keeping the same aspect ratio. The camera stack is more than likely going to be a compromise compared to their other flagship devices, although it costs more because of said hinge in the mechanism here that we have in the back. I don't know. I'm really kind of taken back with what we see with the Z Fold and the Z Flip. I'm really hoping for more stuff done on the inside that will compel somebody to even consider upgrading. Because if it's not, I don't know if I'll be able to put my money down. Because I typically what I do year over year, I trade in my old Z Fold or Z Flip into the next device, and then of course kind of keep the conversation going to do a comparison from a coverage standpoint. But we have to see how that kind of goes. But yeah, Jermaine, it feels like I already have the Z Fold 4. That's really what it is. But yeah. I really need to kind of test out different waters before in the future. So Marilyn jumping in. Hey, Marilyn. So I've had all the notes, and I feel like the S22 Ultra is another note. For me, that's good. I love the S Pen, and I think this is the good part. We need to accept the fact that yes, if this is, of course, why do I not have my note in front of me? Because I don't. Oh, sure. We're talking on it. The naming change is what got me a little bit, okay? For anybody that's used a Samsung, going into a store in 2022, asking for the S22 Ultra and then getting a Note, it's going to get a little bit confusing if you're not familiar with the company. But if you're familiar with the company. If you're not, you may not know. I agree. I think the Note 22 Ultra is literally the best that Samsung has to offer in years because of some of the changes that we had. But if you are a Note fan, you're definitely going to really love it. My wife and I have two phones, one called an S series, one called the Note series. But if you looked at them without even me telling you the name difference, you would think we both are holding Notes. They should have just kept the Notes series. They should have just said, we're going to start going on an alternating year program. 1 year we're going to release an S series, so it's going to be the best, and 1 year we're going to release the Note series. It makes perfect sense. You combine the two, and you minimize the group of Samsung owner or device owners that are looking to upgrade but still want a Note experience and wait. Now you put us on a 2-year cycle. The device is still going to get the love, still get the software update, and you're not going to confuse people. What I worry about though is the fact that I don't feel like Samsung feels they need to push the barriers anymore. Huawei was pushing them at some point, and then they became obviously a non-player there. And then now they feel like nobody else can come very close to them. They are the de facto best experience you can get on Android. And I feel like that's true to certain parts, but not in its entirety, especially if you like to use, let's say, third-party launchers. And for me specifically on my S22 Ultra or my Note, this is the first year or first time I've had a Note device from Samsung where I've gone places and I have had basically, like seriously, no service standing next to a Note 20 Ultra, and that to me was concerning. When I was traveling and relying on my phone for connectivity, those are big things that you have to keep in mind. So long story short, what we see here now is Samsung is trying to potentially maybe take it more of a we keep saying similar design, we just upgrade the internals here, and then we'll see maybe 2023 will be the year for better. I just want them to introduce us to those extra foldable technologies that they showed us last year. If you haven't seen it yet, at CES, Samsung not unpacked, but showcased other foldable form factors that they were talking about. We've seen a couple of companies like Oppo releasing, or not releasing, but they showcased the Oppo, I think was it the Oppo X 2022 or 2022, yeah, earlier this year, which was the rollable foldable device that we saw from Oppo. LG was supposed to put one out, that never became. But long story short, I'm wanting to see those. Those are the things that I think people will be very excited. Is Samsung pushing the border, pushing the line, and making other companies do better than to say Samsung's just going to stick with the same recipe from last year because we don't think we're going to sell a lot of devices and we don't want to miss out on releasing a new phone. So we're going to make a little bit of a noise with this. But for the most part, you're not going to be able to tell them apart if you're looking at them from the outside. So this is going to be kind of like iPhone sticking to the same design year over year. But I don't think people will buy it. Samsung has had a very big stance when it comes to design and changes, and people are able to tell their devices apart. Like the S22 looks like a Note. It is a Note. Sorry, I didn't mean to kind of overextend that conversation, Marilyn, but yeah, no, for sure. The camera, okay, so it gotten worse and mainly different vocals, but it's not, okay, I think I missed a comment in. I completely. They should have left the note being a note. Yeah, we should keep the note. Call it a note. Don't confuse people with the name. Because at the end of the day, yeah, it's a powerful device. It still is one of the best cameras on the market, especially when it comes down to using telephoto cameras. The S22 Ultra still has one of the better options. Now, I will say that the Vivo X70 Pro Plus is a very good experience close to it. I like it a little bit more for content creation, just from the overall color science that we get from stills. But at the end of the day, yeah, leave the Note be the Note and leave the S series be the S series. Once we stop doing that, people will be less confused. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, no. So the other thing, obviously, I would say at the end of the day is, I think companies are trying to be creative, or they're trying to find ways to be creative. I'll say this, and I'll say this just to be more so on the record. I think the OnePlus 10T 5G is an exciting phone. It brings a very different experience than what 10 Pro does, and it's focusing on that, and it does it very well. So that's really the way to look at it. We need to stop focusing on this is not that, this is not that, and focusing on what this is and see what it is, and if it does actually hold its own in its own manner. Because at the end of the day, somebody considering to pay $650 for the 10T shouldn't feel like they're being bombarded by others because the phone is bad. It's not. It's a very good, capable device, very powerful device when it comes down to performance, and a very acceptable camera experience when it comes down to photography. The 766 is a very tried and true and well-proven sensor that we've seen in many flagships, and it's coming in more and more. And again, it has basically a lot of the features we want. So the thing about it is that a 10T is a one camera device, a one reliable camera experience device, where the 10 Pro is a very well-rounded 10 experience with everything in there, and you're getting that benefit there. Samsung is starting to basically trying to, obviously they're trying to hype up their Unpacked next week. I think it's still, from what I understand, it's still a virtual event. I don't think it's an in-person, because if it had, I would have tried to get my hands on one of them at that time. The overall experience that we're going to see, what it seems so far, is similar hardware, similar form factor, new experiences built on either software as well as also internal component. So I'm looking for much more improvement on the Z Flip. If the price doesn't drop, better improvements, stereo speakers, DeX support, a whole bunch of things in there, maybe improving the camera experience. And although we can't tell on the outside, since the images that we saw were purely of the outside, the device unturned on, no samples or anything from the device, I'm hoping that the sensors under there are better. Better in the sense of, this is a good camera system that you can rely on a foldable device that you're going to pay $1,500 to $1,600 or $1,800 on, as opposed to basically an acceptable camera, okay, S20 series, S22 series level camera on an $1,800 phone. And basically, the markup is 90% built on the hinge mechanism that's in there. And of course, maybe better technologies when it comes down to the displays that we have in there. We'll have to see. So with that being said, I do realize that as time-wise, we had a couple of things kind of going on back and forth. Hey, Chemi's in the chat. Hey, man, hope you're doing well. I didn't see you at the beginning. I know a little bit of a weird situation going on with the stream today. StreamYard, not happy with my PC. Absolutely, it worked kind of okay on the Tab S8 Ultra, but that kind of went out the door, and we ended up turning around and doing it on the S22 Ultra, because that's the only other one that I had that had the full charge, and that would be able to hopefully carry me throughout the whole experience. So I don't know how to be able to do TKception on this, because I don't think we can do TKception on the device, from the smartphone at least, on our phone. So I will apologize for that. So we'll have to maybe skip that one for this week, and then come back to it hopefully next week when we get everything I can test out and figure out what's going on. And if StreamYard is going to be like this, I need to figure out a better way. I was on a hardwired connection on there, and it was telling me my Wi-Fi connection was not running right. Something is not right when it doesn't know, the position of where it is and all that. But we're going. If you'd like to go ahead and drop in the hashtag TKception in the comments, or hashtag TKBay, something like that, we could definitely keep that in there and keep going. But what I will say is, I'm excited to see what Samsung's going to be announcing, not because I don't know, or I've kind of already seen what they're offering. I want to see is what they try to do to differentiate the 2022 from the 2021 edition of their foldables. Is it price? Is it software? Is it features? Is it built-in hardware that we can't see on the outside? Is it lightweight, more durable? All of the things that we can expect that Samsung's going to try to leverage and show us. The launch event, if I'm not mistaken, is next week, so we're definitely going to be able to see what they offer us there. On the Pixel 6 series, I know that the traffic on the Pixel 6a hasn't been going, is basically more on the downward side. Juan just dropped a video, I think was it yesterday or early this morning, talking about some of those experiences and how basically search volumes kind of plummet the moment the phone comes out, and the conversations become much harder to try to make that statement on a device that has been out for a very short time, but then there's so much more conversations, more popular conversations that are going in one direction, that we are going to have to basically do a much harder uphill battle to try to make statements around it. I did put my video on it. I did discuss some of the concerns that people are talking about, and my unit, unfortunately, was not one of them. And let me see here. I think my unit is done. Now it's updating it. I want to live with the device a little bit longer with the updates that we received. There's 2 updates that came out, one on Monday this week, and it seems like there's another one right now, like a 1.5, very small minor bug fix. I'm hoping that gets us a little bit better, and the experience does get much, much better. The cameras on this are astonishing. Google's been doing magic with 12 megapixel cameras for a while, and it's all in their post-processing. And Tensor really does the job right. Tensor truly gives you flagship experience at a $450 price point, which still, right now, a week later from making that statement in my video, is still a true statement, and is still a very good experience to get on a Pixel from Google. The 10T is available in pre-order. You should be able to pick it up. And again, if you do decide to pick it up, make sure you do it before the device is available for general sale, because you'll be able to get the 750 model for $650. I think it's a great deal. It's going to do great for you, performance, everything. Even with the compromises that they put in there, I don't think it's a bad phone. I think it's a great offering for $650, for $750, with the features that we're getting there. To charge the phone from 0 to 100% in under 20 minutes is absolutely, seriously, crazy fast, and you're definitely going to appreciate it. So with that being said, I do want to say thank you to everybody for hanging out with us today. Chemi, as always, my buddy. I'm going to miss you at IFA, man. The last time I went to IFA was with you, because that was the time we went with Honor for the Honor. I want to say it was the Honor Play. And of course, definitely appreciate you being here with us on the chat. Greg, as always, thank you for your support. Thank you for chatting and giving me all these nice little tips while I was traveling with OnePlus's new updates. Jimmy Fire Dragon, thank you very much. Jermaine, the man, the concept creator himself. He is the creators of concepts. Definitely love the work and appreciate it. Keep the Dragon Ball stuff coming up, man. Always love it. Dominic, hope you're doing well. I hope you guys are staying cool. I'm hoping the temperatures are calming down a little bit in Europe. It's a little bit still soaring on our side. I know Greg and I were both dealing with a lot of heat, so we're hoping you guys stay cool and be safe. I know that RogerBot is probably going to be going on streaming today. I saw him posting on the Discord channel. So if you guys are familiar with RogerBot, Life of Tech, he's going to be streaming on Twitch very soon. And of course, thank you to Jimmy. Thank you to Aditya, the man, the myth himself, the Mr. Cumberbatch of our channel, Aditya and Nil. Thank you very much. Dominic, Chemi, Greg, and of course, everybody. Hope you have a great rest of the weekend. Stay safe, be safe, stay cool. I'll see you guys next week, and I'm hoping no technical issues, but again, fingers crossed. Take care, everybody. I'll talk to you guys. We'll talk, obviously, on the interwebs and online. Check it out. Like and subscribe. Make sure to check out the audio podcast if you want to check it out. I'm going to have to edit a whole bunch of things out of it. So on the audio side, just for reference, you will not be listening to all of the hiccups and the reboots and all of that stuff that we have to do. And I'm hoping the audio from this is decent enough for the podcast. Okay. Bye-bye for now.